I've known Barry for 6 years, and another way that we worked with him is we started a group for young men of color called Men Making a Change, and Barry took the lead in that group, and he encouraged all of us to fight against police brutality. This was about 5 years ago. He told stories of being in handcuffs in county jail and having his jaw broken, his arm broken by the officials, and constant struggles of being in his neighborhood and constantly harassed by the police.
So Barry had been basically, you said harassed by the police over 5 years ago. Is that what happened?
Even longer than that. His whole life he's been followed and profiled by the police, him and his friends. His friend Sokahor was actually unarmed and shot by the police, and he was on life support, and they would not allow his family to go see him even though he was on life support. So Barry gathered all the people that are here today and led a march to St. Mary's Hospital to be able to fight to get the family to be able to see their child who was on life support. And he was actually successful in that fight, and the mother was able to go in and hold her son's hand, and for the first time he moved and squeezed her hand and is alive to this day because of Barry fighting.
So basically Barry had been having issue with the police over 5 years ago?
Yeah, his whole life. He also was present at Tyler Woods' march. Tyler Woods was a young man who was unarmed on his knees with his hands up and was shot and killed 19 times by the Long Beach Police Department. And Barry was there at his march as well and marching for justice for Tyler Woods. So all of this has happened before the incident that happened June 28th, where Barry was unarmed and shot and killed by the Long Beach Police Department.
So you said you've known Barry for 6 years. How do you describe Barry person, as a good person or not so good, or how do you describe him basically?
Barry was amazing. All of the kids here are here because he helped raise everybody's kids. He would step in where anybody needed him and do anything for anybody, from leading the March for Soka to growing fruits and vegetables for the community to babysitting people's kids, walking their dogs. There's a dog here that he used to walk. He was just an amazing person that anything anybody needed, Barry would make it happen. And if he didn't have a way to make it happen, he'd find and make a way.
So he basically kind of like a community activist.
Definitely.
That talks.
He's a community activist. He's very passionate about the Cambodian community. He's very proud of his Cambodian heritage. He would talk and teach groups of other cultures about Cambodia and the struggles they went with through the Khmer Rouge. He came and spoke to us about that and kind of connected the Long Beach Police Department to the Khmer Rouge, and he felt that they were really targeting young Cambodian men to arrest them and shoot them.
Do you have any idea what is the police side of the story regarding into Barry's death?
We don't know the police side of the story because the police has not until yesterday reached out into the family. So Barry was already shot and killed, and the family actually had to find out through social media and online and the news that their son was dead. The police did not call the family. So they didn't find out until 4 days after from the coroner that their son was dead. They went to the hospital. Nobody would speak to them. Nobody would tell them where their son was or what had happened. So the police have not told us their side, and frankly, we're not interested. We have video and we have eyewitness accounts of what happened, and from what we know and see, we know that Barry was unjustly murdered by the Long Beach Police Department, and the family's going to fight. We want to work with the Citizens Police Commission and hold them accountable. We want to demand an independent investigation. We do not want to wait for the police to investigate the police. If they committed this murder, it's unfair to wait 6 months to a year for them to conduct an investigation on themselves. By then, the case is pretty much cold by the time it would go to the district attorney. So we want Mayor Robert Garcia and we want Jackie Lacey, the district attorney, to investigate now. We want an independent investigation where we can start interviewing our witnesses, watching these videos, and really hold these officers accountable that hunted and killed Barry.
There's no justice in this country. It's America. Police is the real gang members.
He was very strong. He spoke his mind. He believed, that the police were corrupted. They used to pull him over, me over. We all had those experiences with the police where we were harassed. So he was very outgoing, outspoken. He had pride in Cambodia. So he was a strong Cambodian. So that's how I know him.
Do you think that he did arm himself or go against the police arresting, or what happened at the time when he's dead?
Yeah. Well, the story switched up like 4 times. The initial story was he had a bomb, and then it was a story where he shot the dog, and then the police turned around and said, oh no, we shot the dog, and then they said he came out with his hands up, and then they said he lunged. But it gets blurry because if he comes down with his hands up, how did he lunge, and then where was the dog, So was the dog released after he had his hands up, and he tried to defend himself. So I really don't know about the story, but the story that the police put out, and we're trying to get as many investigators to figure out which one was the right story, if that's the right story at all. And I told somebody this the other day, it shines the light on police brutality within the Asian community. You don't hear too many stories about police brutality in the Asian community and what that does in Long Beach. And nationally, it shows that Asians are affected by police brutality as well. So we wanted as many people to investigate as possible. The family also wants the name of the officer who killed Barry, and we're trying to get justice for him. They have a good attorney, and we're just fighting out here. We're bringing awareness to what's been going on, for years now. And it's sad to see that my friend, Barry, was a victim of police brutality, and he was fighting against police brutality. If the police watching this now, you got to do something. You got to be held accountable. I hear a lot of talk about transparency, but as of late, it hasn't been transparent. The community is crying out. We're tired of being treated like animals. Even less than animals. Particularly in this case, they shot their own dog, and they publicized about the dog, but nothing about Barry's life, and what he's done in the community. We're all pushing for change. That's the reason why we're out here today, to have a change. If we don't say something, if we don't speak up, then nothing will change. But we got to let them know that it's a problem out here. It's a problem with the community and police relations right now in Long Beach. All nationwide, but specifically right now in Long Beach, it's a problem, and we need to solve that. We're doing our part, coming out here speaking about the wrongs and things that's going on in our community, and I feel like the police should. To the city council meeting this past Tuesday, and they know about the police, shootings, and they know it was a lot of people. It was about we packed the whole city council meeting, and it was specifically talking about the use of force, the deaths in Long Beach. Not only has Barry been killed, there's been somebody named Lionel Gibson. He was killed. He had a BB gun. He was shot down. That's on video. Noel Aguilar, Hector Monacon, Faraz Marad. All of these were human beings and shot down by the local police department for no reason. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're out here speaking about. The injustice that's been going on in Long Beach.
Okay, does he take you to school on time every day? Not all the time. Does he help you taking showers and all that stuff?
Feed you.
Yeah. So he feeds you. He lives with you, or he doesn't live with you?
He leaves with us. He takes us to school, and then after we come back, and then he makes us food, and then we do our homework.
He make food for you too, right?
Yeah.
Until your mom come back from work?
Yeah.
Oh, and you have a sister?
Yeah.
Which one? Oh, that's your sister. How old is your sister?
5.
How old are you?
8.
You're 8 years old. So you go to school every day, right? How long you been with Uncle Barry? How many years?
Ask her.
Ask her? Oh, okay. So do you like Uncle Barry? He just like your uncle? Do you think he do something wrong? No? Okay, thank you. How old is your daughter?
8 and 5.
So I believe that if you don't trust him, you don't believe him,
Exactly.
you would not let him handle your daughter, right?
Exactly. I trust my kids with him. I trust my life with him.
And that's why you let him stay with
Yes,
you?
he made me feel safe. He protected us and everything. He did what he could as a man for us. I was at work when it happened. I got a phone call from my brother saying that he just took the kids to school and someone was coming after him, and they chased him here, tried to taser him, and he was feared for his life. He was fearful for his life. That was it. That's all. And then by the time I got here, I picked up my daughter because he was here, and I don't know where he was with the police. And then as soon as I tried to figure out what was going on, they took me and my daughter straight to the station because I told them I live here. I just wanted to know what happened in my home, and they took me straight to the station. For 7 hours I sat there. I didn't know if he was dead or alive. At the end of the interrogation with the detective, I asked him, where is he? They said that he had died at the hospital. And I asked, why did you guys shoot him? He said, you'll find out in the media.
What is your plan to do from now in order to get those information and get the justice for Barry?
We're gonna try to get as much answers as we can peacefully. Do what we can the right way to get the answers we need.
Are you planning to go to the city hall again and the next coming Tuesday, I believe, right? That's a public opinion or public conference in the city hall.
I'm not sure. We're still talking. We're meeting about about other things that we're gonna do. I'm not sure we're gonna go again, but we're still talking about that.
We would like to know if you get any information from the police side. I mean, the police side of the story, we found it online from Press Telegram, but we don't know your side of the story, and that's why we are here as KhmerTV to help the Khmer community to show your side of the story to the audience, so that way the audience can make their own judgment, their own decision, and see who's right and who's wrong. But what is your opinion about the police side of the story? Have you ever seen the police side of the story?
No, just the lies that I saw in the media that day. That was it.
You mean that whatever they tell the media at the time was not true?
I believe it wasn't true.
So what do you think would be true?
I don't know, but we just want to know the truth. I believe that he was underarmed. I believe that he surrendered. Clearly in the photos he surrendered, and there was no need, and he was no harm, and he was no threat to them, and they still shot him.